Hey everyone, this is Max the Catfish, and today I'm starting my first in a series of tutorials for Satisfactory. I wanted to share with you guys the top 5 beginner tips, the 5 things I wish I knew when I first started playing the game. We're just going to jump right into it with number 1. The resource deposits in the game are unlimited. You'll be able to mine up iron and copper and limestone from now until the end of the game at the exact same rate, so there's no fear of running out of resources. You'll only want to add on more miners if you need to expand your capacity. In addition, with the exception of biomass burners, there is no wastage of fuel or power in the game. So I highly recommend you research an alternative source of energy as soon as possible in the game so that you can reduce that wastage and reduce the manual time spent reloading your biomass burners. Give yourself enough space to expand your capabilities and replace portions of your factory. Too often, what I see new players do is build factories as tight and compact as possible. And what this leads to is in the future, when you try to reconstruct or reorient a portion of your factory, you don't have the space to do so. You have nearly unlimited space to use in Satisfactory. Use up as much space as you can by building out sections of your factory and leaving a little bit of buffer room between modules. You will thank yourself in the later portions of the game when you gain access to special capabilities that require you to redesign portions of your factory. MultiDelete. This is probably the number 1 tip that I am thanked for on stream when people first see it. You are able to delete multiple objects using the deletion tool by first pressing F like normal, and then holding the control key down to select the items you would like to delete. You can delete up to 50 items at a time, either by holding the control key down and moving your cursor across the items you'd like to delete, or by individually pressing the control key on the buildings you'd like to selectively delete. One thing to note, as of the creation of this video, there's no way to unselect a building that you've selected using the MultiDelete tool. So if you accidentally selected a building you don't want to delete, you'll have to press the escape key and start over from scratch. The MultiDelete tool is so helpful. I use it all the time. Just make sure that if you're deleting a large number of objects, that you have the space in your inventory to hold all of the materials that you will get back in return. Otherwise, you'll leave a number of boxes of shame all over the place. Guidelines and grid snapping. Placing buildings on foundations will allow that building to snap to the foundation's grid, and this is very helpful to help line up buildings in your factory. The blue lines that show up under your buildings show you the lineup of inputs and outputs between your constructors and your splitters and your mergers and other buildings like that. Hold the control key down when you're placing buildings and you'll be able to snap to that blue guideline, thus lining up your inputs and outputs of nearby buildings. In fact, this tip even works in areas where you haven't placed any foundation at all, so it's great for the early game, or for those areas that you don't necessarily want to lay foundation down. Also, fun tip, miners can be placed on top of foundations if you build foundations over ore deposits. Lastly, exploration in this game is very, very important. You aren't just building a factory. You're supposed to be learning a little bit about the resources that are out there, and there are a bunch of things that your scanner won't be able to scan for. This includes special ore deposits that don't appear on the scanner. If you find these ore deposits and dig them up, you'll be able to create some new equipment for your character to expand your capabilities. Cracking open the cargo bays of crashed ships on the planet will earn you hard drives that you can use to learn more efficient, alternate recipes in the game. Power slugs scattered around the world can be turned into power shards that you can use to overclock your buildings. And of course, kittens. Definitely find yourself some kittens. One quick note, the Mercer spheres and summer sloops that you find around the planet don't have a purpose right now in update number 2. So ignore those for now, but all of the other things that you can find around the planet are immensely helpful, and you should absolutely spend some time taking a look around. One thing that helps in exploration is carrying around or being able to craft beacons that you can place on the ground and mark the locations of your findings on your HUD. This will allow you to come back to some of these locations to collect them when you're finally able to do so. And those are my top 5 tips for Satisfactory. Leave your favorite beginner's tip down below in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe so you can stay tuned for more tips, tricks, and Let's Play videos here on YouTube. Also, if you haven't checked out the live stream, here's what you're missing.
Oh no, what are you doing, man? This isn't how it works, dude. Go to the ramp. Over here. Oh, you sweet summer child. The way he just slams his little face into it. Poor Wally, man. The next time he rams this thing, come on.
We're live at twitch.tv/MaxTheCatfish every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, starting at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Central European Time. So if you're sitting down for your first cup of coffee in the morning or your afternoon tea, definitely come check us out. I'll see you next time, either live on stream or on our next video.
Come on!